Hello, my name is Becky Walker. My family research started about 30 years ago when it involved multiple trips to the library, interviewing family members, and subscribing to newsletters. As the internet grew, various sites popped up uh, where family trees could be posted. Message groups were available for surname questions, as well as surname email groups. One day, a cousin emailed me to ask if I would do a 23andMe DNA test to help identify our common ancestors on one branch of the family. The results from that test were overwhelming, even using a spreadsheet. So I developed my own program, or app as they like to call it now. The Genealogy DNA Analysis Tool, or GDAT for short, is the third iteration of that app. In these videos, I will focus on how to do research with GDAT. The mechanics of the app are well documented on getgdat.com, and I am eternally grateful to Kathy Thompson for developing that site. In this first video, we will be talking about building a family tree, downloading and opening GDAT, creating a profile, loading the profile's family tree, and updating the surname table. Even before downloading and running GDAT, it's important to create a family tree with the information that you know about your family. Usually having grandparents' names is sufficient to get started. That tree can be expanded using information from Family Search, MyHeritage, Ancestry, as well as microfilm at the Genealogy Library. It's important to document your tree with primary sources so that you have a solid foundation on which to do DNA analysis. The preferred sources are called primary sources. That's census records, wills, marriages, birth certificates, etc. When those are not available, secondary sources such as abstracts from books, letters that have been passed down through your family, or Bible records. Actually, Bible records would be a primary source. And then, if all else fails, you can use questionable sources, family interviews, undocumented family trees. The reason that you can use these is that DNA analysis can be used to either confirm or reject the sources that you're using. I've used various programs over the year to store my information on my family tree, but I finally settled on developing a tree on Ancestry.com for my analysis. I want it to be available to my grandchildren and great-grandchildren, as well as to cousins when I'm no longer here. Being a commercial venture, I expect Ancestry will survive, but I do download my GEDCOM from time to time. MyHeritage would also be a good choice, but I am more familiar with the Ancestry interface. By the way, Ancestry Inc. is in no way endorses GDAT, and GDAT cannot automatically collect data from the Ancestry site. Let me repeat that. Ancestry Inc. in no way endorses GDAT, and GDAT cannot automatically collect data from the Ancestry site. In fact, GDAT uses an encrypted standalone database on your personal computer. All data is collected by the user and imported by the user. None of it goes into the cloud. Now it's time to open GDAT. When you first open GDAT, it creates an empty database. And this is the screen that you will see then. This is a very brief screen on giving you tips on how to use GDAT. The first thing we want to do when we set up our database is to create a profile for the person that was tested. So we will go to Edit, Profiles. Notice the question mark in the upper left-hand corner. Clicking this will open a browser page with more information about profiles. You will find every page in GDAT links back to its associated page on the GDAT.com site. To create a profile, right-click on the profile list, click Add Profile, Profile Name, a short name to be used on pages that have a lot of data. Any comments or information you want to store about this profile. And then we get to the key section. These are the keys associated with the testing companies that you're going to use to import data. First, we'll select a source. Let's say Family Tree DNA for now. And then the key value that's associated with Andrew Miller and on Family Tree DNA. For now, I'm going to just put in a placeholder. That information, you can go back to the web page and you can get better instructions on how to locate that. We're going to click Save Profile. And you will see that now we have Family Tree with this key value associated with Andrew Miller. If we want to look at Andrew Miller's relative page, we can right-click and say Go to Profile Relative, and it'll pull up that page. And you'll also note that the keys are in this lower right-hand corner. Next, we want to add the profile's ancestor list. If we go to Profile, Ancestor List, or F6, it'll pull up the Ancestors List page. There's several options here. If you wish to manually add the information, you can click Add Relative and fill in the information. You can add that person's mother by saying Add Relatives again, Add Mother, Add Father, etc. You can delete. Okay. I'm going to go back to my family tree on Ancestry.com. Now, there's a lot of options for putting the information in. The app I like in particular for Ancestry is called 1-2-Tree. It's a very inexpensive. I think I paid $5 for using it. So if you click on it, it will collect the information in a format that can be used on GDAT. So then do a Control A. That's Control A for all, Control C for copy. Go back to GDAT, do a right-click, import. You could have imported a GEDCOM or you could import pedigree thief, but since I'm using 1-2-3, I'm going to select this option. Click OK. And you've now added your profile's ancestors to GDAT. Note that there's a column here called Standard Surname. A standard surname takes the last name and converts it to what I will show you is the surname table, the standard surname from the surname table. Key to all the analysis functions in GDAT is the group. The group is made up of the surname of the father plus the surname of the mother. And in our analysis functions, those are matched against relatives' family trees to see if there's a match. Next, we're going to take a look at the surname table. Surname spelling over the years varies dramatically. My grandfather spelled his name with an H, and my grandfather's brother spelled it without the H. So since computers are very dumb in some cases, we have to give it the information so that it can translate the names into one that we will use that's common for our family. I'm going to say utilities, manage surnames, and it will have taken the information that was obtained from your profile's family tree and added it to the surname table. But then you can also add information. I'm going to type in here, I'm going to type in MASON, my surname. Oh, wrong surname. Let's try Royal. We're going to click on Royal, and then we're going to enter an alternate spelling. And you'll see that you have both of the alternate spellings there. So anybody that everywhere it encounters Royal with one L or Royal with two L's, the standard surname will become Royal with two L's. Finally, let's save our work to a backup file. Click File, Backup Database, and it will automatically put the date and time along with the name on the backup file. Save. This is very useful when you're importing data or you're just experimenting. You may want to do a file save, run your experiment, things go bad, then you can go back to the file the way it was before. You do that using the file restore function. And it brings you back to the place where you were as you were working before. Okay, I suggest that when you first start using GDAT, that you focus on just one profile initially, only getting data loaded and just getting a feel for how the app works before you branch off into multiple profiles. In this video, we've covered the initial steps in setting up a GDAT database. First, it is important to create a family tree as far back as possible. Then open GDAT, set up a profile, create or import the profile's family tree, and review the surname table to identify differences in surname spelling. This ends part 1. In part 2, we will cover how to import your DNA results.